It's Wednesday, January 30th, 2019, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. We begin with news that Prime Minister Mia Mottley is coming under more fire this morning. This time it's from a member of the Police Service Commission who's angry over her recent attack on the PSC for its handling of promotions in the Royal Barbados Police Force. As she addressed a press conference last Friday that dealt with the upsurge in gun violence, Prime Minister Mia Mottley launched a verbal assault on the then Guyson Mayors-led PSC and promised to deal with the issue of promotion, which is acknowledged had the effect of eroding morale within the police force. Mottley likened the last few years of the PSC under Mayors as the greatest cannibalization of the police force, claiming that it ignored the recommendations of successive commissioners of police and promoted who it chose to based on criteria known only to it. But in an equally vicious counterattack, retired Deputy Commissioner of Police Keith Whitaker, who represents the interests of the force on the PSC, lambasted the Prime Minister for lumping and labeling everyone on that constitutional body in the same manner.
All I can say is a very irresponsible act. I did not fear to get on national TV and lambaste the Police Service Commission without being aware of all the facts. That's all I got to say on that.
Okay.
It's sad that our country come to this.
Okay. Right. But
after serving 40 years in the Royal Barbados Police Force, it hurt me to know about the excellent service that I get in the force, and then I can pull in the gutter by the Prime Minister, lambasting the Police Service Commission, putting it all in one basket. I am not in that.
Whitaker also says he was hurt by the Prime Minister's comments as he sought to clear his name of any political connections in the execution of his mandate on the Police Service Commission.
I am not political, you know. I want that straight. You can quote me on this. I am a professional policeman, and I interested in the country first and the Royal Barbados Police Force. I am not interested in any politician or any political party. You can quote me on saying that.
Will you want the Prime Minister to apologize?
I won't say how far I'm going with that yet. She should make that decision, not me.
On to other news now. Former Prime Minister Owen Arthur is demanding that international organizations show respect for the sovereign rights of states. He's taking specific issue with the stipulation in the International Monetary Fund Agreement with Barbados, which stipulates that an independent evaluation committee oversees the way the government carries out the arrangement. Arthur is stressing that the Barbados Constitution vests exclusive powers in the cabinet within the context of collective responsibility.
But it should not have to answer to any entity in carrying out its executive powers on the matter. Joint commissions for overseeing the carrying out of obligations, as between Caribbean and China, are common. But the concept of an independent commission carries a stigma that left to themselves, countries that benefit from access to IMF resources will indulge in the practice of anticipated wrongdoing. Thus far, China has entertained no such misgivings in its relationship with Caribbean countries, and it is to be anticipated that none will arise in the future.
The former Prime Minister was addressing a symposium yesterday on China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. That program seeks to bring together Eurasia and North American economies by creating infrastructure that runs over land and sea.
Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean's access to resources committed by China in support of the BRI can be an important alternative for having to accept policy-based loans from institutions, programs which are often being too arbitrary and dysfunctional in the way in which the business has been conducted.
The former Prime Minister was addressing a symposium yesterday on China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. That program seeks to bring together Eurasia and North American economies by creating infrastructure that runs over land and sea.
The global financial order is much more broader than what the IMF and IADB would wish to imagine. China, there is a power shift with China emerging as another pillar for alternative financing. So we must be able to not shut off that option, but look at it, see what loans we can gather, note that it doesn't, that it provides you with the fiscal space to do things, and make a critical decision. But certainly in Barbados, I would recommend just after we meet certain targets that we should look to diversify our reliance on Paris Club lending towards lending coming from China at this point.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our regional neighbors now, the president of Venezuela's Supreme Court says a travel ban has been imposed on self-declared interim president Juan Guaido. He's also facing financial restrictions, including having his bank accounts frozen. The move comes amid an escalating power struggle after the opposition leader declared himself interim president last week. He has been backed by the U.S. and other countries. However, President Nicolas Maduro has major allies, including Russia. Protests have been held across the country since Maduro began his second term on January 10th. He was elected last year during a controversial vote in which many opposition candidates were barred from running or jailed. According to the UN, at least 40 people have died and hundreds have been arrested since January 21st. And on the international scene, Britain is heading for a new showdown with the European Union after Theresa May bowed to pressure from UK lawmakers who demanded she renegotiate her hard-fought Brexit deal. In a sharp reversal of policy, the British Prime Minister agreed to return to Brussels and reopen Brexit talks, even though she previously said the idea was a non-starter, and the EU has repeatedly insisted the deal is locked down. We get the details from France 24.
She asks MPs, she's done a complete U-turn and says, vote for an amendment against my deal because I want to go back to Brussels. I want you to give me the clearest mandate to get rid of the backstop. That backstop, which is an insurance policy to avoid a hard border between an EU member state, the Irish Republic, and one of the four nations that makes up the United Kingdom, Northern Ireland. And that amendment has been voted through by a majority of MPs.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay and supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media.